Apple switched back from titanium to aluminum on the new iPhone Pro models, but was that a mistake? Well, so far with my personal experience, yes and no. Let me explain. The reason I say yes is because when it comes to the iPhone 15 and 16, the titanium frame on these things is insanely durable. In fact, the only place where there's any wear is around the charge port from, well, using the charge port. But aside from fingerprints, I've dropped this thing multiple times and the frame is spotless. Whereas with the aluminum unibody of the 17 Pros, aluminum is much less durable than something like titanium. So while you can get these fancy colors to stick more easily with aluminum, I'm afraid these colors won't stick around as much if the phone gets dropped and starts getting scratches. Small example here with my iPhone 7 Plus, which spent most of its life in a case. The one time I dropped it outside of a case, and that is there forever. However, cooling is an entirely different beast. My iPhone 15 Pro Max would get so hot when I would use it, and especially when you're using it outdoors and the screen is turned up, you would not get full brightness for more than maybe 2 minutes. And if you're doing things like I do, where you record in video formats like ProRes on your iPhone, you're going to see that heat become a major issue. Whereas the iPhone 17 Pro and the 17 Pro Max that I'm using to record this video with can film for prolonged periods in ProRes and ProRes RAW, which is even more demanding, and because it has a vapor chamber connected to the aluminum shell, it keeps the device much cooler for much longer. This also applies to when I use it outdoors, and it can keep max brightness on a hot, bright day for significantly longer, basically long enough that I'm done using it and I put it back in my pocket before the screen even dims. So to answer the question, was Apple switching from titanium to aluminum a mistake? It really depends. If you're the kind of person who doesn't like carrying your phone around in a case and you're worried about durability, then yes, it probably was a mistake. But if you're the kind of person who might throw a case on your phone and you do the kind of stuff like I do, where it does require the phone to stay cooler for longer periods of time, no, I don't think it was a mistake. For me personally, I'll take the extra cooling and just throw a case on my phone to make sure that it doesn't get scratched, but for some people who like to go caseless, well, maybe you might want to stick with something like the iPhone Air, which is still titanium, by the way.